All right. Hello. Welcome back to another devlog. As I mentioned last week, I wasn't able to get much done then, but today I locked in and I clutched up for you all, and I've got some brilliant news, some absolutely fantastic news. I'm just watching my own videos just because, they're too good. They're too good. Um, so this week I've just released the patch notes for the new update in Rocket, in which this little guy, Bleak, is actually in the game and functioning. This has been an enormous update. It's taken me many, many weeks because I'll get into a bit more why, but first I'll just talk about the what. So this is kind of what I've been able to do. So there's been heaps and heaps of stuff, but mainly it comes down to Bleak and actually adding Bleak to the game. I'm actually just going to turn this on. Adding Bleak to the game and making it. I've also sort of made it a bit easier for myself to debug. But turns out that adding this kind of boost actually was really, really difficult. Like I had a lot of systems, really rigid systems in place that I had to kind of mold and change to actually enable Bleak. And sorry if there's barking. Like I don't know why they do that, but they love it. Anyway, so here we go. Bleak is here. So you can see him at day 20. So actually, you can't see that. Sorry. Uh, oh, okay. So what I did there, by the way. So I've actually added a little button here that lets me progress 5 days further. Now I've like saved a bunch of states at every particular day, so I can go to any day between 1 and 20, and that was really helpful for bug fixing and testing Bleak and stuff like that. But so this is what happens. So open up Bleak. There's a whole bunch of dialogue that don't read it, don't read it, don't read it. Play the game. Don't read the dialogue on here. So you're able to, and I think I would have shown this in a previous devlog, but you're able to sort of get a little further on. You're able to get a discount for what a boost is, and you're able to have some prevention against the new mineral Corundrum, which actually damages you when you hit an asteroid that has it. So you can see again here, like the scale. This is actually done such that the scale here reflects the scale of where these minerals spawn in game, which took a lot of work to do to make that make sense and make it flexible. This ship I've just noticed is actually in the wrong position. It should be down here. But yeah, not. I've kind of left a couple of like little bugs in there that aren't game breaking. They are maybe a little annoying, and I will try and fix them. But yeah, I just wanted to get the Bleak into people's hands and see what they thought. What I can do is I can give myself some Corundum, which I can do like that. I can come in here and upgrade a bunch of stuff, but I won't do that just yet. And then I can click here. That sound effect probably shouldn't play now. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but now I can move this rocket up, and you can see that I'm actually able to start a little bit further on. And while I'm just waiting for this fuel to go out, I'll just talk about some of the other stuff that I was able to implement. So I added, I think I talked about this, but this is like you're able to, at day 1, there isn't anything visible. And then at day 5, you can see the factory. At day 15, you can see the scientists, etc., etc. So this is like a slow introduction to each new state in the game, which I thought was really important to not overwhelm the player at the start, but also to have a system in place where I can easily add stuff and just say this comes in at day 20 or whatever, which is what I did with Bleak. I also fixed up the mineral counter in the inventory. So previously the inventory was so buggy. I just ended up simplifying it just to only include or only be able to show one mineral at a time. I do want to do like kind of a big overhaul where I'm able to make a much more dynamic inventory. But yeah, I haven't sort of had the time to do that yet because I've been focusing on Bleak. But there you go. You saw I was able to boost. Just for reference, what I say when I mean an inventory overhaul is something where maybe I can click on here and the inventory might appear at a different point on the screen, which makes a lot of sense for the scientist because there's actually no space up here. It covers important information, so maybe it would make more sense to show the minerals here. I'm sure you'll see that again in a future devlog. I also added this button. I added a whole bunch of like little things that ended up amounting to one big thing. And then you can see if I like buy myself a couple of upgrades, I can actually boost further along. So why did this update take so long? So I think this is really important. I wish I could tell myself from 1 month ago about this, and it's that when you if you have kind of, and it's like it's such a basic analogy, but when you have this really shaky scaffolding and you have a massive brick and you're like, I really want to get this brick, as high as I possibly can because I know the people are going to love to see this brick. It doesn't matter how good the brick is because the scaffolding underneath is really shaky and it's going to fuck everything up. And so Bleak, I think was really cool. Like the boost, the idea for boost, that progression, but I think I kind of jumped on it a little too early. And I did it when there were a whole lot of systems in the back end that actually weren't really put into place very well. And I vaguely knew about, but I didn't really think about because boosting kind of interacts with everything that I've got at the moment. And that's things like the mouse state, that's things like the inventory, that's things like even just showing the different state buttons at different times, like the garage and bleed and whatever. So there's a whole bunch of shit that it kind of ended up impacting. So I think the next updates I'm really going to focus on kind of making sure that the foundations are kind of as up to scratch as they possibly can be. And obviously I can't like prepare for the future because I don't really know what's going to happen in 6 months with this game. I don't know what I want to add. I don't know what systems I need to make, etc., etc. But I can say, well, I know right now that this inventory system, this inventory, okay. Well, I don't know why I always do this, but anyway, the inventory system is not up to scratch. So that's going to be on the cards next. I'm just going to have to address it and buckle down. It's my least favorite part of game dev. And I think this is a reminder to everyone, like, game dev is not all sunshine and rainbows. There's actually a lot of parts of it where you really don't want to do something, but you know you have to do it because it means that you're setting yourself up for success rather than avoiding it and then setting yourself up for failure. And you can get away with cheeky, shitty coding practices for only so long, in my experience at least. But I think that's it for this week. Also, just wanted to share just some other metrics. So I think I've got 4 more responses on this since you would have last seen it, which is great. I had a mate play it in person, which was really cool. Shout out to him if he's watching. But that was really, really helpful. It's always cool to see people playing your game in person, so you can visually see where they're getting confused, where a bug might be showing up, where they think, you can tell sort of when they're getting a bit bored and maybe the progression should be a bit faster at a particular point. And then also the actual metrics of the game itself. So I did think it was going to flatline. It's actually sort of stayed pretty alright. Like this is 7 plays. This was just a few days ago, like 4 or 5 days ago. No updates or anything. So I'm actually pretty happy with how this is going, and the fact that there are still people playing it. Like that's actually pretty cool. And I'm hoping that as I continue to update it, probably again not weekly as much as I would have liked to, as I continue to update it, this number will continue to stay above 0, because that's the big idea. But yeah, anyway, sorry for the longer one. So hopefully you'll have another big juicy video to get into, and that video is the one I mentioned last week. It might be out by this point, but it's how to make your first commercial game. I really put a lot of effort into that video, into kind of collecting my thoughts, and I would have loved to have watched a video like that if I was just starting game dev. So I kind of made it for myself in a way, which, yeah, I'm also going to talk a bit more about in the future. But anyway, I just also did want to do a massive thank you to someone who I'm just going to leave unnamed, but actually, I don't know what their YouTube handle is, but I just had my first member join the channel. So these memberships I turned on. I didn't really expect anyone to do anything about it. And it's completely fine if you don't feel comfortable subscribing, but it's mainly just to kind of show your support to me, to what I'm doing, and obviously at the end of the day, like I love what I do and I'd love to be able to make games for more and more people. So these memberships are a way of supporting me with literally just a couple of bucks. And yeah, telling me that you enjoy what I do. And I will say here, I'll say it in future videos as well, but all members at this current moment in time, and all the members I collect during development, They will be in the credits of like my future releases, the end of videos like this and stuff like that. So I did just want to say a big shout out to the first subscriber that I've ever had, who's my mate in person. So big thank you to him, day one. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.